There we go. Now we are live, and welcome to Usable Live. As you can see, Oliver runs away immediately after we start. So, today we're going to take a bit of a different approach, or a bit more like different content. And because we talked a lot about how Almana, like how you can use it for Orlando or, for example, Blender MCP and how we use ChatGPT and stuff. But we haven't really dived into how does the Orlando usable landing page work and the usable page and stuff.
Yep.
So that's why I was thinking we could do that today.
Yep. That sounds like a good idea. So let's see if we can switch over to.
I think it was those two. See, just getting used to this as well.
Whoa. And that was the wrong one.
Give it a second.
So, yeah, you talk
Yeah.
while we find out.
So basically, the whole idea that we'd like to discuss today is kind of just show you the ropes of how Usable works. So go through the landing page and then also go through the UI and Usable so that you can kind of get a feeling for what Usable actually is. So you learn how to use the UI as well, because just
Yep.
seeing us rapidly pop through things might be a bit confusing if you've never used Usable before.
Yep.
I'm sad to say that you can't see the
No,
adorable.
that was why I was jumping up there, and
Okay.
I had hoped to.
Showcase the little
Yep.
guy.
So the question is if I'm sharing the right screen. That is the.
That is a good question. If you press the what was popping up before?
So it was this one popping up, which is totally different.
Okay.
It seems like it has remembered something.
In that case, what you can do, if you press the live stream right there, we're just doing some technical things at the moment, and then pop back to that one and press the capture screen, press the little eyeball next to it. There you go. Press it again. And it is still
The wrong one.
the wrong one.
It seems like it's frozen.
All right, try pressing that one. Properties. And then pick. There we go. And then pop back in. There you go. And then press OK. So as you can see, we're professional streamers as well, so we know how to operate stressful situations.
So cool. So here we can see, what can we see here?
So this is the Orlando landing page. Oh, sorry, the usable landing page is made with Orlando.
Fantastic. And as it says, development teams forget and usable remembers.
Yes.
So perfect example here. We were forgetting our names and everything. So
we forgot to ask usable for help, but we'll
Yeah.
do that next time.
So the landing page is quite simple. So you have some use cases where you can see, okay, as a software engineer, what can you use it for? As a DevOps, what can you use it for? As a team, what can you use it for? You can see the features. What are the features of Usable? You can see the pricing,
which is very generous as well.
And you can see some frequently asked questions. And finally, at the bottom, you can see the different social media where we are kind of active, at least on YouTube at the moment.
And we're also, if you can't watch these and you like have maybe a long commute, we are also posting these on Spotify, so you can find us on Spotify as well.
So we try to talk things through and not just show it on the screen.
So you're welcome to make dinner while we're doing this. It's no worries.
So at the top, you can also see the docs. So if you or documentation, and here you can see getting started with Usable.
Yeah. And how to set up the MCP connection as well, so that your AI can communicate with the Usable.
Yep.
And then we also do have an API as well that you can communicate with. So if you're thinking more high level, like service to like systems talking to other systems and stuff like automations and stuff, then this is ideal.
So I'll close that. So of course, it's only so much time you can spend on the landing page. Let's dig into it. So if we click login, you can log in with a username and password. And if you you haven't already signed up, you click sign up, or you can click sign up from the landing page.
Yeah, highly recommended.
And then you get into Usable. And we're now at version 0.89.1.
Oh, it's just flying up every day.
Yes, so tons of new features. I think we can promise that we'll talk about some of the most revolutionary ones tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
So remember to subscribe as well, so
Yes.
you get notified.
And you can see here all the different workspaces. And you can see some of my private ones here. Private all over Elephant, that's me.
Yeah.
And the Blender AI that we talked about a couple of episodes ago,
Yeah.
which is where I am subscribed.
Yeah, how does that work exactly when it comes to, for example, we've been talking a lot about Blender AI and Orlando, or in this case, it's called
AI landing page. We haven't renamed it yet.
No, that will be coming out. But I'm thinking more of how would someone new who just got Usable,
Yep.
and they would love to use these tools, like these workspaces, because they say they are public. So how would they be able to access them?
Yeah. So if you look up at the top here, you can see that you can create a new workspace, but there's also Discover Public. So if you click on Discover Public, you can see the public workspaces that are available.
Okay.
And there are not that many yet, but there is an important one which is called Flowcore Public, which is the Flowcore platform.
Yeah.
So I would like to subscribe to that. And I press subscribe. And if I now go in here, I can see Flowcore Public.
Okay.
It has been added. So if I go into that workspace and look at view all the memory fragments, I can see how you are getting started with Flowcore and so on.
And this is all scraped, I believe, from the Flowcore docs.
Yep.
Okay.
And you can see it's Jasper that has done all of them.
Oh yeah. And in this case, what is as you mentioned just now, looking at fragments. So,
yeah.
For example, say I've subscribed now to Flowcore Public or AI landing page.
Let's go into the AI landing page.
Yeah. So in this case, what is it exactly that I see a bunch of memory fragments just coming in for the first time. What are these?
So if you look at this page, you can see that you have the memory fragments here and you have the knowledge graph over there. And if you focus on the memory fragments, they have been organized into fragment types. So there are some default fragment types, including instruction set, knowledge, LLM personas, recipes, solutions, and template. I think 5 out of 6 here. I can't remember which ones are the default ones, but you can always add new ones, or you can change this. I cannot change it because it's you that is the owner and Hanna is the collaborator. So you're the only ones that can do changes to this.
Yeah.
It's a public workspace, but you need to be at least a collaborator to make changes.
So you can think of this a little bit kind of like when you work in something like GitHub, where there are a couple people who manage it, but there are other people who can contribute, whereas I would have to approve all the changes as well. And that's something we will be adding on the side as well, is to allow people to contribute with pull requests and stuff to get fragments into both the AI landing page and Blender MCP at some point.
And we can see some numbers next to these boxes, these fragment types. So we have 4 instruction sets, we have 9 knowledge fragments, we have 78 recipes and 71 solutions. So I guess you've been very much into this and building up this workspace.
Yeah, mostly Hannah has been working on this because the core idea of this Orlando structure is that she is not a developer, and therefore she was the optimal candidate to try and purely vibe a landing page.
So if we click on view all, we can see all the fragments. So the top one here is use cases, tabs, mobile background, container issue, persistent problem. Okay, should we look into that?
Yeah, we can try and look. Maybe see how angry she gets at it.
It is still, this is all public, so anyone can go in here and look. So
yeah, all that's required is that you have a usable account. which is again in a freemium model, so you don't even need to add a card.
So if you look at this, this is a fragment. So if you look again, you can see it's a recipe in AI landing page. You can even view it in the graph. And then the title is Use Cases Tabs Mobile Background Container Issue, Persistent Problem. And you can see that there are a number of tags. And tags are important here. These are all added automatically by Usable when you generate new ones. So we have mobile optimization. So this has probably something to do with responsive design and
Yeah. Oh, it even says that as well, responsive design.
it's over here. And the repo is usable landing page. So this is not from the Orlando landing page, but from the usable landing page.
Okay, yeah.
So
it's kind of to give context to the different pages as well.
Yeah. And here we can see problem, and we can see attempted solutions, and we can see current CSS implementation, possible root causes, next steps to try, and so on. Here it says status unresolved. Ooh.
But at least now, I suppose he could use this information next time. Okay, I've tried these things. What can I possibly do and use this as like a base for it?
Exactly. So if we go back to, sorry, I went a bit too far, back to the AI landing page and see. So there's one here, LLM personas, and there's just one fragment in there.
Yeah.
Can you guess what that is?
There he is.
So
beautiful Italian.
So we've talked so much about Orlando, but this is Orlando.
Yeah.
Can you explain a bit about Orlando here?
Yeah, so essentially what we created is an LLM persona, which means that it is when you speak to this workspace, he's been instructed to impersonate a character or a persona of sorts, which is in this case Orlando. And then we've trained him to know how to what styles to use, what type of CSS structure, like folder structure, various HTML, anything that's related to web development. He's been trained on how to structure things and how to communicate with the user. So for example, if I use him, I can tell him, hey, I'm a developer. You can go like really hard on technical details. But when Hannah uses him, she would prefer that he stays away from anything technical and just tries to explain everything with common, like phrases and stuff.
Well,
like
we have things like external authoritative sources. So we have a lot of standards defined here.
Yeah.
We have some patterns for how Orlando should respond. And
code refactoring as well, which is very important, so that he remembers to go back and fix things, so he doesn't just end up duplicating a lot of stuff over and over.
Yeah. So, and design philosophy and problem-solving escalation and on and on.
And one of Hannah's most important features was that to make him really nice and sweet, he always talks in a third person.
Yeah, you can see it here. Item 12.3 is third person communication. Orlando always speaks in third person when referring to himself. And then
so he might even go and say, did Orlando do a good job? And then he can say, yes, you did a good job.
Yeah,
excellent.
Fantastic. So these fragments are of course accessible from the AI agents.
Yeah.
As well as you can search for them here inside usable. So there's a very usable search function here at the top. So we go back to the front page and just say, let's search for Orlando, because we know it's there. But
I love the little search icon. It's just spinning, and then we'll see if he finds it.
And
one thing I was wondering as well. Oh, there he is.
And here we have like,
in various different ones, right?
Yes. And here you can write your search as a normal search, or you can write it as like you would ask an agent.
Yeah.
And also, if we go over to, you were saying something?
Oh, yeah. I was wondering one thing about the fragments is that we see a bunch of different types. are they like fixed? These are the fragments that are available, or can you make your own? And what would be the point of making your own?
You can definitely make your own, and the point would be that depending on the use case, so for an AI landing page workspace, you might have something. What would that be?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It could be something related to.
You could have something
Did it,
design,
yes,
maybe.
yes. That was my thinking as well.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? Oh, okay, I cannot do that here. So I created a workspace just before, which is called usable social media, which is my private space. You can see these are the 5 default ones, and I can invite others, but I can also click on settings here. I can change the name
Okay, yeah.
and I can
make it public if you prefer.
I can even delete it.
A scary thing to press.
And I can have webhooks and fragment types. That was what we were looking for. You can add a fragment type, and you can say, here I would like in social media I would say posts.
Okay, yeah.
That could be a fragment type, and I can choose the icon.
Okay, yeah.
What would be the good icon for posts?
Probably a letter or one of those planes that I like to throw.
Yeah.
The question is if you could find one.
I'll just put this one here. Looks like buffer, and I can have a description, and I can choose the color.
The most important part, yes.
Yeah. Create fragment type. Description is required.
Yes.
Any posts that are posted.
And one reason you might
social media.
One reason you might actually require these descriptions as well is that so the AI has some context as to what do I use this fragment for.
Yeah. So I wrote here description, any usable dev post that are posted on any social media. And then we have it here. And we have that as a new fragment type. And as you could see, there are many other settings you could do. And I think to round it off, we could go in and go into cursor. Just okay, how would this look? And we're back into the Orlando landing page. So what would we want to do here?
Suppose we could first ask him to run the project.
Run the project.
Because this is also knowledge that we've given Orlando so that he knows this is how you can run this project.
Yep.
Then we'll see what he does.
Yeah.
There we go. He uses Python 3. And again, if you don't have Python 3, he can move over to Node. He has various different types depending on like what underlying technology you have on.
Asking me to go to localhost 8000. Here. And here he is.
Nice.
So what do we want to do any change?
We could ask him if he could make the theme more Italian. Because he is, after all, or we have made the persona to be specifically that he's Italian. And again, if it's become super racial, that's not our fault. That's the AI. We take no responsibility.
So I wrote, can you make the theme more Italian? Consult usable. Hey, Orlando here. And that's a good sign.
Yes.
And then it's calling agentic search fragments. And he says, I'll help you make the theme more Italian by consulting my memory for design patterns and Italian-inspired aesthetics. I'm sorry to say, I don't think we have anything about that yet in usable. So that might be in Wayne, but I guess Orlando is never out of ideas.
No, he's very he likes to push boundaries.
Yeah. So if you click there, here you can see query, and you can see the tags, and you can see the limit and the search intent, and so on.
Then we'll see if he finds anything.
Yeah.
Because now he is essentially searching through the AI landing page.
Yep.
There we go.
More specifically, okay,
So now he's more looking for Italian design patterns. I don't even know if that's a thing, but
Oh, now let me create. So, of course, as a good agent, he makes his own little to-do list and starts improving it. So while we're waiting for that, we can talk a bit about what's in the left side here. You can see the files that are here, and as we mentioned the day before yesterday, I think, on the agents
yes,
MD, that's the new one here.
the new way of handling these rules that you tend to use for various different models or the tools like cursor or warp or
Yep.
raycast.
And here you have a custom pre-prompt, but moreover you have like the all the details and all the instructions for the agents to work. And this has not been updated since we did the new. Oh no, this is a different one. So it has all the fragment types for.
Yeah. And again, he can easily look up the fragment types himself through the
Yeah.
workspace, but this just speeds up the process because now
Exactly.
you have them all locally ready to use.
And there's one more here. Some of you might remember we deleted the cursor folder totally, but when you're setting up the MCP server on Cursor, you can choose between having a global server for all,
Okay,
and you can have a local one. And this one here, usable local, you just
so you kind of just point towards your own local credentials.
yes.
Okay, yeah.
So you can have the access token in a local end file.
Yeah. Okay, so essentially you can kind of gear each project to use a specific workspace, for example.
And we didn't look much into that before, but if we go in here, you can see that if you're in a workspace, let's go to the AI landing workspace, and you want to connect, you just click connect MCP, and you have all the instructions here for how to connect, including that JSON file there. So.
And we can also hint at that there are features coming out where it will just be easier to connect in the future as well by just like pressing buttons and stuff rather than going through a full tutorial.
Yep, and very importantly here, perfect. Now let me create a memory fragment to document this Italian theme implementation. So next time Usable is asked about how to do an Italian theme,
Yeah.
perfetto.
Yeah. We did actually tell Usable as the AI landing Orlando workspace AI landing page to use Italian slang. As well.
Okay, good. So if I refresh here, wow.
Ah, look at that. Just got hungry now. Look at this.
It's definitely Italian. I think that is it.
Yeah, I think
so.
We basically covered what Usable is, like the UI, landing page, and demonstrated how it like interconnects with tools.
Yep. Fantastic. I think that's it. Thank you, everyone. And I think now is the time for you to go out and do something useful.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good.